All right, everyone. Good morning. Saturday morning. So, dealing with this monster, the Nikon ZF, okay, uh, I found a few things that were troubling. I had the E stabilization on, and it made, when I was panning, you would see jerking movements, right? So I turned it off, and the crop went away at 4K 30. Uh, I tried some experiments with normal, and since I pan a lot, I put it on sport, so I didn't see a crop then. Okay. So that was the main thing. The other one was the colors were fantastic, but it was a little bit too saturated, which I'll show you what I've changed. But the main thing I'm going to show you is the sharpness of the camera. Depending on what lens you use, it was sharp. When I was dealing with the Nikon Z 20 millimeter 1.8 S line, it was the sharpest lens. And I mean, I didn't shave yesterday and it picked out every whisker that was growing, right? So I shaved today. But anyway, I'm going to hook this up to an or Elgato Cam Link and I'll show you how to do it. So here you have your HDMI and mic on the bottom of the ZF. You open it up, and it's a micro HDMI. Okay, so you just oh, I was dealing with and let me take this apart just to show you how I put it together. Okay, so what you need is a cable, regular HDMI to a micro HDMI. Okay, and I got the one where it goes down. So this is called a right angle. Right angle means it's when you look at it, it goes down. If it's a left angle, it'll go up. So the D is pointing toward the back. That's the type of cable you want. The problem is some of the manufacturers put the wrong picture on there. And you sometimes forget, well, is it a left angle or is it a right angle? Get the right angle. And you put it in the micro HDMI port. You then plug in the Elgato Cam Link 4K. So it has an HDMI, excuse me, and then a USB 3 at the other end. So the regular HDMI now connected to a USB. Then you get the extension that came with the Elgato, and you hook that in. But I'm going to be using a Thunderbolt port in the back. I could use a USB-C because that's all I need. And so this converts a USB 3 to USB-C. Now, I'm using uh, Ecamm Live Pro, all right? So I'm going to show you how I hook up a camera to get this going. So I'm going to go right here to live demo mode. So I go to options, live demo mode, and now you see what I'm viewing, all right? So I'm going to plug in this camera to the USB port. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. Is I'm going to show you some menus. Okay. So it's plugged in. You turn it on. Now I got to add it. So you see where my hand is? I'm going to add this and I'm going to call it Nikon ZF or guest camera. Okay. Now I got to find out what port it's on. So if I click on source up here, no, camera, it's 4K too. It's on. And the reason why is I can go like that, and now it's coming in. So you see one 14-inch 4K OLED, the other InnoView 4K OLED. All right. So it's working just like the iPhone. But I'm going into menu, and that's the reason why I plugged it in. Okay. So let me show you the menu. Skin softening is on high. All right. And the only other thing is I want to go to stabilization. All right. I turned off the electronic VR. All right. And I put it on sport because mosquitoes were biting me terribly last night. And that's why I was panning so fast. So that worked out pretty good. Um, with all the rain we've been having, mosquitoes are out and they're eating me alive. So anyway, that's the other thing. Then I want to go to picture control. Now, I have found out if I get out of the menu, okay, that if I hit the eye, you're not going to see anything. So I have to do everything in the menu, okay? I can do it easily through the eye menu to set the settings, but I'm going to go back to menu. You can't view it, so I have to go it this way. And let's see. Right. Have to make it in movie mode. All right. Picture control. Okay. You see landscape, adjust. This is the thing that was getting me. So let's say I put it on automatic, right? And then if you go here, let me tell you, uh, just by going down one, well, it's on automatic, but it's very sharp, right? So I didn't like it. So I said, okay, I'm going to set everything to 0. All right. So watch what happens. Go to auto, and I'm going to set, but you see the sharpening goes to 4. If you do a +1 or a +2, you can see the sharpening go up. That's too much. And especially with an old guy like me with A spots, with skin softening on high, you don't want that. So I brought it down to 0 on quick sharp. And look, it's still +4 in sharpening, +2 mid-range sharpening, and clarity. Well, that's not good. All right. So this is what I did. -1, still a little plus. I did a -2, and then I was happy. And I kept it right there. So it's not on automatic. And if I went back there, you can see it's a -2. That's the way you want it. The other thing I wanted to show you, I put contrast at auto, brightness at 0, and way at 0. But the saturation, I was at 0, I'm too red, but at -3, I'm too brown, I guess. And then automatic, it was. So I'm going to show you an example, right? So I took off, and I'm just going to use a saturation. And now I'm going to point it to me. Okay. And if I go into another camera, like the ZR, you can see how better I look. Okay. Just a tint of red. Perfect. And this is at a -2. So we'll go back to this camera and let's change it again. But what I'm going to do is go to the quick menu, and I'm going to go to landscape and adjust. And now I am going to saturation, and I'm going to go to a -3. And I'm trying to get where you can see me. All right. So I look white. If I put 0 saturation, I'm too red. -1, I'm looking better, but still too red. So I went with a -2. Okay. I'm trying to get on it. I'll go this way. And there you go. And it's perfect. And it will match this one right here. Okay. It has less light. So I have more light when I bring the camera here. So I'll say okay on that. It's now set perfectly with the sharpness and stuff. So if we go back to the menu and go to picture control. Oh, I'm sorry. Be nice if I put it on the right camera. So here's landscape, adjust, -2, 0 halfway, 0 brightness, auto on contrast, and then the clarity, mid-range sharpening, -1, minus 0.50 on the sharpening, and then a quick sharp is -2. Now, that's saved. You don't want to change any settings, so you just go to OK. That's done. Get out of the menu. And, all right, I look much better now. And I'm going to get out of live demo mode. And there you have it. So this is the ZF, okay? And this is the ZR. All right? Quick, easy way of doing it. If you want to get rid of the sharpness when you're doing vlogging, that's how you do it. If you want to make it sharper for like pictures of a house or landscape, that's another thing. But the thing you have to realize is if you do different settings on your camera, one for sharpness, one for, let's say, vlogging, that's what you would do. And that's a quick fix, okay? It's easier than what I was showing you here. But since I was vlogging yesterday, showing off the lenses, how they look, I only found out this stuff because I thought when you put on 0 with quick sharp, it was 0. It wasn't. And you learn something new every day. Okay, I matched the colors with the other cameras with this one. I just want to see how it looks on the view. So I'm going to have 2 videos coming up shortly just to see how this works out. So if you go into the menu, I noticed that the ZR wasn't matching the ZF. So anyway, vibration reduction on, okay, and it's just on normal. Electronic VR is off. And then if you go into landscape, you adjust. The sharpening was at 0. I put it at a -2 for quick sharp. And so you can see a -0.50, -0.1, -0.1 for clarity. Contrast was on auto. I had it on 0. And then the brightness was 0. I had the saturation on -3. And then the Hui on 0. Okay. So that's set. And get out of here. hit the microphone. And now I look pretty good. If you compare it with the ZF that I on the first clip, it now matches. So anyway, uh, that's just a little epilogue that I found. Well, let me make sure ZR doesn't look, the same. And that's what happened. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling.